Good evening, parents. My name is Jimmy Jewell. I am your son's or daughter's African Studies teacher. Honors. African Studies is a class that we began in the year 2005. I have been teaching it since the outset. I attended a 10-day workshop at Yale University, which was followed up by a visit to Ghana in West Africa, which has helped me to have a better understanding of at least part of the continent of Africa. My college roommate is Ethiopian, he is Ethiopian, and he gave me a pretty good understanding. And I played college soccer with three guys from the Gambia, which is in kind of set within Senegal in West Africa. So I don't have infinite knowledge, but I do have a passion for the continent. The main objectives of this course is to dispel common misconceptions about the continent of Africa and all of its diverse population. There are over 3,000 languages that are spoken in Africa, on the continent of Africa. To realize the size, for the students to realize the size of Africa, to try to understand the battle that many people on the continent are dealing with when it comes to trying to modernize on one hand, but keeping their tradition on the other hand, to appreciate the way nations and people in Africa are attempting to deal with issues that sometimes get in the way of progress, to understand all of the challenges that people on the continent of Africa are facing and how they relate to the challenges that most people in the world also face. And finally, to make Africa regular, to make Africa real. The major topics that we cover in the course are, the first topic is an introduction to Africa, to make Africa real. Then we talk about the Atlantic slave trade and the legacy of the racism that followed that slave trade. Then we talk about the Berlin Conference, imperialism, and what is called and referred to as the scramble for Africa. Then we focus on Southern Africa, and we talk directly about South Africa and the history of apartheid there. We talk about colonial times. We talk about the reconciliation that the people of South Africa, the country, have been trying to go through. And then we talk a little bit about Zambian independence, which in the early 2000s was one of the fastest growing nations on the continent. We talk about the need in the continent for good governance in the countries, the value or the crutch of aid, dependency, and unfair trade, the way national identity is growing. Africa's a fairly young continent. It's a fairly young continent, and the nations are 60, 70 years old at the most. And of course, the battle between the environment and development, just like, again, all nations face. And then, of course, we talk about Rwanda and the Congo. Of course, there's the genocide in Rwanda, but it fueled two wars, which were called Africa's World Wars, in Central Africa, in the Congo. So that's pretty much it. My information is on the My Lion page, which I believe you have access to. I try to make the class as interactive as possible. My goal is that each student participates every single day. And to this point, we're doing a pretty good job of that. So my email is jimmy.jewell, Jewell spelled with 2 L's, at levitt.org. Reach out to me there if you need me. And that's pretty much what the class is about. So it's nice to virtually meet you, but I'm really enjoying the class so far, and I think the students are too. Have a good rest of your evening.